The New Galactic Era, Space Voyages, by Mariia Obydenna. Chapter 1. The Age of Biocrits. Earthlings, humans from planet Earth, have long been short of natural resources. Over several galactic eras, humankind has colonized outer space far beyond the solar system. Military exploration and development of remote human settlements required significant physical and technical resources. Living the old way was no longer impossible. Humans discovered extraterrestrial life and travel long distances, millions of light years from their solar system. Centuries ago, the ancient ones gazed at the stars and dreamed that one day their descendants would walk beside beings from other worlds, as friends, not strangers. None of this came true. Their dreams of conquering extraterrestrial civilizations and borrowing the technical experience of aliens never became a reality. In the new galactic era, man saves himself from extinction and explored the boundless universe. Humans built military research facilities dozens of light years from the solar system and collected data on thousands of unknown metals and plants. The top-secret vaults of scientific laboratories hold a lot of information about extraterrestrial worlds and alien civilizations. The world of Biocrits is a complex one. An alarm bell rang in the green tower of the spaceport at the military facility on the planet Jupiter. The largest starship ever created by Earthlings was about to land. The Alpha, a technological marvel. The new super-powerful cargo spacecraft impressed experienced pilots of intergalactic expeditions with its enormous size, technical capacity, and cutting-edge equipment. Sparkling with a cold glow, the Alpha slowly floated in space. It was the size of a small intergalactic station and was supposed to occupy a third of the spaceport's landing area on the planet Jupiter. The sentry notified the military command of the arrival. To all divisions of the spaceport, attention! An interstellar vessel from Uranus has arrived at the base, the voice reported over the intercom. Thanks, guys, came the voice of General Gart, one of the best specialists at the military facility. I will be there soon. Do not open the hatches until the military engineers arrive. Hello, Gart. Everything is ready to take Biocrits to the new space colony. Tet, the starship commander, joined in the conversation. The starship crew, along with scientists and military engineers, will escort the cargo to its destination. This is a very valuable cargo, General Gart informed the team. Yes, agreed Tet. The cargo is invaluable. Biocrits will help us not only control the borders of the solar system, but also detect new cosmic threats, such as comets, meteorites, aliens, intelligent asteroids, and other extraterrestrial life, of which there is plenty that travel in space. I just joined, said Laporte, approaching the group of scientists at the spaceport. What are you talking about? Nice to see you, Gart replied. I was talking about the new cargo. Everything is ready. After experiments in Saturn's orbit, our scientists have confirmed that Biocrits can autonomously live without the control of military command and build a super-powerful colony on the far reaches of the solar system. Okay, Laporte said cheerfully. Brilliant military engineers work on Jupiter and Uranus. They have designed and tested Biocrits to work in extreme conditions. This will be the most complex project in the history of the solar system, and, above all, it is very important. During the flight to the borders of the solar system, Gart continued, addressing Laporte, you will study the plan of the future colony and all the stages of its construction. Never before have Earthlings built such large protective structures with Biocrits at such a great distance from the scientific and military facilities of Jupiter and Uranus. You will need to know all the schemes of building the colony down to the smallest details. Thank you for your trust, Laporte replied. I intend to fulfill all that you expect of me, Gart. We'll have plenty of time, Roland suddenly appeared, the leader of the expedition. The flight will take quite a while. I'll get you up to speed. Thank you, Roland, Laporte replied. For humans, whose native homes were planet Earth and Mars, a new era had come. The age of Biocrits. One of the most important achievements of the new galactic era was the design and manufacturing of biosynthetic hybrids, known as Biocrits, and their settlement in military colonies on the planets of the solar system and beyond. In the New World, two types of people coexist: intellectuals who rule the world, and biocrits, biosynthetic hybrids who do all the most difficult work and are cannon fodder for aliens and physical robots for performing extremely difficult work. A biocrit is a creature with an appearance similar to human. Unlike humans, the brain of biocrits has both biological and artificial tissues and biosynthetic chips to store information. Biocrits are similar to humans, but parts of their bodies, and bones in particular, are made of super strong metal to work in extreme conditions. Unlike robots made entirely of metal and unable to think like humans, biocrits have muscles similar to human muscles, which control body movement and facial expressions. But unlike humans, the bones of biocrits are of metal, terium, and the muscles are made of chemically resistant fiber. Body parts are fully integrated with the nervous system. Biocrits have tactile sensations. The muscle strength of biocrits significantly exceeds that of humans, which makes them stronger. Biocrits have well-developed hearing and vision functions, allowing them to hear and notice much more than humans. In the new era, biocrits inhabit laboratory planets like Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter. These biological creatures do not pass on their stored knowledge and skills to their offspring. Biocrits cannot reproduce naturally. According to the basic intergalactic law, biocrits are cloned in special laboratories according to the needs of military colonies in statistically defined quantities. Biosynthetic hybrids are a significant part of the workforce of the solar system and its space settlements. They help humans do the dirtiest work, but humans are the only biological creatures that have a developed brain and are able to control all processes in the solar system and its colonies.
In the age of biocrits, cosmic expanses present a dual frontier, one of innovation and one of unforeseeable risk for Earthlings. To protect the solar system from constant attacks by aggressive aliens and extinction, the military has begun building a protective barrier around the solar system. If you look at the sky from Earth, you can see billions of stars, a bright strip, a stream of stars that gently unfolds in the sky, which is known as the Milky Way. The solar system is located in this spiral galaxy, the Milky Way. It consists of billions of stars and planetary systems inhabited by various types of extraterrestrial intelligence or aliens. For many millennia, the galaxy has suffered from their attacks. In different corners of the boundless universe, around the stars, there is a zone appropriate for life, a range of orbits where planets can maintain a temperature that allows the liquid state of metals and have high radioactivity and radiation of varying intensity. Forms of biological life, still unknown to Earthlings, are differentiated by their ability to autonomously maintain internal processes and act collectively. In the robot age, before the age of biocrits, many humans died and many spaceships were lost in space and vanished without a trace, confronted by the threat of alien existence. The military considered an engineering marvel. Intergalactic platforms will be built on the outskirts of the solar system in a few Earth years. A protective barrier around the solar system will unite into a single system, mobile platforms of enormous size. The protective barrier will help Earthlings receive information from the corners of the universe about possible space threats and the appearance of alien ships from different corners of the boundless universe. Many years of scientific experiments have allowed laboratories on Uranus and Jupiter to build a super-powerful colony with biocrits, existing autonomously at a great distance from the main bases. Experienced engineers will build huge mobile autonomous platforms on the outskirts of the solar system, similar to the old one on Uranus. The colony on the borders will be many times larger in size than on the giant planet. The population of the colony will manufacture everything it needs without external support. The facility will perform quantum monitoring of the distant corners of the universe and notify the solar system of possible threats. Since the beginning of the age of biocrits, two innovations have transformed human existence: brain chips to store information built into biocrits, and the intergalactic network, a branched grid which unites the centers of life and the bases of the solar system far beyond its borders. In the new world, everything is connected to the intergalactic network, a unique intergalactic structure. This is a chemically active grid that allows humans to control the centers of life far beyond the solar system and maintain their viability at great distances from the main core. The network has a high degree of connectivity in its structure. One base can have several thousand connections with other bases. The transmission of impulses from one base to another occurs in hyperspace through intergalactic tunnels and allows information to be transmitted throughout the network at a distance of hundreds of thousands of light-years from the solar system. This principle of building a new world makes it possible to control military and scientific centers, as well as colonies in other parts of the universe controlled by humans. Humans began colonizing the universe thanks to the invention of this extensive network grid and supernova-powered starships.
Biocrits are completely subordinate to the network. They always protect it from destruction, since they are completely dependent on it. They act collectively and have a truly consumerist and predatory attitude to everything. They always strive to seek their own benefit as a survival instinct. Biocrits act within the framework of the programs embedded in them. They cannot sit back at all. They absolutely do not understand the phrase, sit in silence, be alone, meditate. For them, it is an empty sound, a waste of time. For them, this is an empty sound, a waste of time. They can either actively act, do something, or be in a semi-sleep mode. Biocrits learn from scientific achievements and interaction with the environment, focusing on algorithms that exist in most human areas of life. By evolving their intelligence to understand human-centric language, emotions, and behavior, Biocrits expand the boundaries of previously limited solutions to bridge the gap between robots and humans. In the new era, the military uses Biocrits in scientific research and to collect data in extreme conditions. The information helps people understand the deeper processes that underlie the construction of the universe and the behavior of aliens. The goal of developing Biocrits is not to completely replace humans, but to enhance capabilities through intelligent, human-centered technologies. By combining the precision of learning with human input and values, Biocrits make more informed decisions and are able to develop clearer strategies and solutions to solve problems in the new galactic era. For a protective barrier at the edges of the solar system, Biocrits are invaluable creatures. They use the abilities of human thinkers and scale ideas to meet the needs of humans for data and information. The development of new technologies has allowed military engineers to build the new world technologically, shifting some of the heavy lifting on Biocrits. This allows processes and information to be scaled up without compromising data integrity or increasing human resource costs. On the planet Uranus, the main projects with Biocrits focus on replacing human labor. Biocrits can recognize and generate the languages of other civilizations, which opens up new opportunities for contact with other worlds. Biocrits have found widespread use in the military, where responsibility in the chain of command is a core value. In contrast to Biocrits, humans operate autonomous technical intergalactic stations where achieving the appropriate level of security requires a special approach to guarantee human control of all critical processes in the solar system, remote centers of life, and settlements of intelligent people far beyond the solar system. Several Earth months passed, and, at last, the Alpha starship approached its destination. The flight was carried out successfully, informed the metallic voice of the expedition commander, Roland. Unloading is scheduled to begin in 2 hours. Thank you, Laparte, the starship pilot, replied politely. The valuable cargo arrived at its destination intact, Tet reported instantly. Sincere gratitude to each and every member for their contributions. The head of the protective barrier, Dor, joined the conversation. The successful completion of the mobile colony and protective barrier in this region is only possible because of you, he explained to the starship crew. The size of the protective border is truly impressive. Laparte expressed his thoughts on what he witnessed.
In 2 Earth years, we will have a super-powerful military platform with all possible protective functions, explained the experienced leader of the military colony. Biocrits will have to be reprogrammed and their functions expanded, but not to the detriment of the basic program, Tet said, addressing the colony engineers. The leadership has only allowed this to be done outside Uranus so that they don't cause us trouble during the flight. You have to know that biocrits can be controlled like puppets in a puppet theater. However, remember that biocrits always act according to a built-in scheme and the basic program embedded within them. They have no understanding of chaos in their minds, Roland added. Yes, biocrits are important for the colony. Without them, construction would take several decades. Laparte shared his thoughts. You can complete the main work in just 1 Earth year. A super-powerful military facility with trillions of mini-bases and protective barrier around the solar system. Military engineers are the creators of reality. Roland was also impressed with the size and technical equipment of the protective barrier. "Thank you, Roland," exclaimed the leader of the protective barrier. "Developing a colony and intergalactic grid in this area is a difficult task even for experienced scientists and engineers of the solar system." A mobile colony located on large intergalactic platforms will become the pinnacle of humankind's technological creation. It looks like a circle with various energy fields, which can take any shape and change its size depending on military needs. Inside the platform, there will be laboratories, mini-factories, and experimental facilities for testing starships. Hangars filled with a whole fleet of ships of various classes and purposes. Mobile platforms will change not only their appearance, but also transform the interior if necessary. All this extremely complex equipment will be controlled by Jupiter, controlled by the facility's management. "I can't go into more detail, it's a secret," said one of the engineers of the protective barrier. "Thanks to you, we will be able to make it on time and meet the previously agreed-upon schedule of technical work. When any objects approach the boundaries of the solar system, the Jupiter Research Facility will instantly be aware of the danger and will be able to respond to space threats or alien invasions," added the colony leader. Suddenly, the intercom rang. It was General Gart. "Guys, you're doing great. I was informed by the border that the valuable cargo was delivered to its destination on time. General, the tugboats have already brought the platform with biocrits to the designated positions. Laparte was given a difficult task to deliver biocrits to the starting position, and he performed it perfectly." "Gart, the platforms are in place," confirmed Dor, the head of the protective barrier. In the age of biocrits, space platform engines were a remarkable human achievement. Unlike conventional traction engines, the new technology used an engine that ran on an inexhaustible source of energy. Dor was no expert on such things, but he understood what any object in space needed to move, and Laparte had performed the extremely complex task assigned to him by his leadership perfectly. "Thank you. Now it's time to return to the facility. You've done your part of the job," Gart's voice came out. "Thank you, Gart. Our team consistently strives to meet every objective and fulfill our assigned duties to the highest standard." "General," Roland said, "if the new biocrit platform has passed through this area without any problems, the young scientist will have a brilliant career." He looked at Laparte. Gart just smiled. He had known Laparte since childhood and had high hopes for him. Work was in full swing in the space colony. Construction would proceed at an accelerated pace, which could not help but be pleasing. The crew was ready to return to Jupiter. Roland was sitting in the cockpit. Once all systems were confirmed ready, he issued the command to initiate engine startup. "Start, transition," Roland said decisively. The interstellar cargo vessel Alpha lifted effortlessly from the platform and transitioned into light-speed travel. It became very dark all around. Several Earth hours passed. Roland was still sitting in the cockpit, monitoring the control panel. He seemed to be lost in thoughts and lost in memories. "What happened?" Laparte asked, entering the cabin.
I remembered one of the expeditions when I first started working at the military facility on Jupiter and was a young staff member of the scientific laboratory. It was classified information, but I knew about thousands of humans who had died from alien attacks. The main threats were unidentified creatures of cosmic origin, space predators of various kinds, comets, meteorites, and a lot of space garbage traveling in outer space. By creating this unique protective boundary, the solar system and its scientific laboratories will be safe for several more Earth millennia, Lepart shared his thoughts. Yes, you're right, Roland confirmed. And I remembered how my grandmother used to tell me bedtime stories when I was still little. I remembered one of them well. A furious Zeus took the baby from the breast of his wife Hera, and the milk from Hera's breast poured into the sky. The white streak of the Milky Way resembles spilled milk or fog. For ancient travelers, it is a heavenly road for human righteous souls, flying along this road to heaven, and sinners to hell. These tales seem like delusions, and it's even hard to believe that humankind believed in such fables about the Milky Way galaxy, smiled Lepart. Yes, Roland, I love your childhood memories. I also miss the view of the Milky Way from Earth, my home and my childhood years on Neptune. Black, impenetrable darkness stood all around. Sitting in the cockpit, Roland dreamed of the red ocean on the planet Mars. Immersed in memories, he did not notice how Tet changed the flight course. The interstellar cargo vessel Alpha was on the way to the Vortex galaxy, in the Hounding Dogs, also known as the Canes Venatici constellation.